This is Sheriff Spotlight with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, highlighting the office and deputies dedicated to providing law enforcement services and maintaining the trust and support of Rockingham County citizens, all while keeping neighborhoods and communities safe.
Good morning and welcome to the October 2025 edition of Sheriff Spotlight. In the studio with us this morning is Sheriff Sam Page, and I am, of course, your host for the show this morning, Sergeant Dwayne Anders. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Doing good.
It's been a busy time, hasn't it?
It's been a busy week, I can tell you.
Already?
Yes, sir.
I think October has become the most busiest month of the year, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and start and say, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And, I've said this the other day, I was talking about domestic violence awareness, that if you know someone that is potentially a victim of domestic violence and you want to help that person, there are resources here in Rockingham County. Help Incorporated,
Right.
The Family Justice Center, which is located in our county, is available to serve persons that are in those situations. They also help victims of domestic violence, child abuse, elder abuse, and sexual assault. So if you know someone that needs some assistance, the number is 336-342-3331, 336-342-3331. Help Incorporated. Mary Jane Webb is the director, and they do a great job working with many of our victims. They coordinate with the District Attorney's Office, social services, law enforcement around the county, and several services are available, and they're free, and they're confidential. So if you need some help, and you want somebody that needs some help in regards to domestic violence situation, contact Help Incorporated. They're there to help, and they're 24/7. So
Right.
Give them a call.
We appreciate all the help that they do give. This
Yes,
is
sir.
something we see daily.
Mm-hmm.
We see it daily, and so it's very important for us to get this message out. Sheriff, in light of domestic violence, we had an incident involving the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office early Tuesday morning. If you'd like to
We did.
elaborate on that a little.
I'm very limited in what I can say about it, but this past week we got a call here at the Sheriff's Office in regards to a domestic violence case. The young lady was a victim. She came and applied for a warrant, and warrants were issued, and there was reason to believe that there might be some potential for danger, additional risk by threats being made. So we sent extra staff down, and when they went down to execute the search warrant and give knocking notice, the subject started shooting and stuff. Subsequently, the subject came out, was firing his weapon, and he was shot and killed. And so anyway, as a normal protocol, we'll notify the State Bureau of Investigation. We did a little bit of a news release, and then again, we contacted the State Bureau of Investigation for their follow-up, and they'll be conducting their investigation. We have several officers that were involved, and what I would ask our citizens and our listeners, viewers, to do this is keep all of the men and women of the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office in your prayers, thoughts and prayers, and their families as we move through this investigation. The deputies did their job as they're trained to do. I'm very proud of the deputies. It's a tragic situation. Anytime you have to take a life, it is very tragic. But we do live in a dangerous world, and sometimes we have dangerous events. And as law enforcement, when people call, we come, and we're there to help people. But sometimes people do things that where we have to use force. And I just want to say, just remember our deputies and their families in your prayers as we go through the next several weeks here.
Thank you for that, Sheriff. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Sheriff, we've had a lot going on already. Just to name a few things that we've been involved with, along with a lot of other agencies. In the end of August, we did our first Touch a Truck event in Eden, a big event that was really great. Then September 20th, we rolled right into Eden River Fest.
Yes.
That's the first time I had actually working.
You never worked it?
Never worked that
Well,
event.
I got to tell you, on the Touch a Trucks, which is great, is our kids and their families get an opportunity to go out and see the fire trucks, the police vehicles, the emergency vehicles, the city vehicles. That a lot of times they like those big vehicles and stuff. Yeah. I like sirens myself, but we've had the Touch a Truck at of course in Eden. We also had a Touch a Truck just recently at Lowe's Home Improvement in Reedsville. Got to see the helicopters come in, talk to our telecommunicators, our firefighters, law enforcement, first responders. The River Fest was great. It was hot.
It was
very hot.
It was very hot.
But I think we had a great attendance. great bands. I commend the City of Eden for all the efforts they put into it. And as you know, it kind of kicks off the fall festivals, and then the events continue around the county.
Right.
And we'll tell some more coming up. We also attended the Tate's Pumpkin Patch, a very great fundraiser for a great cause. A little child was born and has disabilities, and subsequently passed away. And in his memory, Tate, this event occurs every year, and we just want to thank everybody, the family of Tate, for putting on this event, and also for the charity and what it does. And we also had some, I saw some fire trucks out there at the location. We had several of our law enforcement vehicles out there, and just providing support for the family while this event went that day, and it was a wonderful event.
So, Sheriff, from my understanding, that Tate's Pumpkin Patch is a kind of new event.
Just a few years now.
It's not it's not been going very long.
No.
But I understand there was quite a crowd of people there.
It was packed. It was packed. I saw a helicopter in there from one of the Life Flight organizations. I'm not sure the exact title, but it was one of the helicopters that fly emergency support for medical concerns. They came in. I talked to some of the pilots, but there's a lot of people. I talked to a lot of family members down there and stuff like that, and it was a great event. So next year, Tate's Pumpkin Patch. Please don't forget to come out on that date.
It's a good event. Sheriff, we're talking about all of these events. Events like that just kind of reiterates in my mind that down deep our community really does care about each other.
They do.
And they're there to support you.
There are a lot of great causes going on in Rockingham County, and we're talking about Tate's Pumpkin Patch. There are a lot of great events that are going on. Rockingham County, we're about community. I mean, and like I said, it's Riverfest, and then you start looking. This week we got What the Hay and Mayodan, and it'll be a festival. We'll be out there, and we always try to represent and support these programs and stuff like this. And then we had the Stoneville event, a great event at Stoneville.
Right.
A lot of times we look at the weather. Is it rainy? Because it was a little bit rainy that morning in Stoneville, but or it was really a bit hot somewhere. But I think all the events were great, and I just tell everybody, check online and see what's out there, and attend some of these events, because people work hard to do display of the artwork and some of the traditions and some of the things they're doing. A lot of good restaurants, or a lot of good food out there.
Absolutely.
And when you're Stoneville, we're going to go to Debbie's, but they also had some vendors out there, and some good food, and a lot of lemonade too.
That's usually my stop.
Yeah, the lemonade, the fresh lemonade was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
These events, Sheriff, let us connect with people in ways that a lot of times we don't get to see a lot of these people. We're answering calls. We're showing up in emergency.
In our day-to-day, a lot of times we do not get. We talk to persons that are really in need of assistance or have a question about the law or something, or how we interact. But what's fun is this is more casual and a lot more fun. The fun part of the work is because you get to take the time and talk to the kids. Talk to the families, still answering questions and stuff they may have. And also, we always have some trinkets and some stuff that we can give out to the little ones and stuff. I love to give out the coloring books.
It's always good to pin one of our little badges on.
Well, now I saw Stoneville PD was out there in Stoneville, and they had the badges and everything. It was fun. You'll see a lot of these special deputies out there, because they'll be wearing those badges.
Oh yeah, we just did an event. First time I'd been with this one, homeschool group, co-op group, raising arrows.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So that was quite a large event. I think 160 some children in that co-op event. Raising Arrows is the name of that co-op. So we met with them and talked about public safety, shared with them what we do as the sheriff's office. Their topic was that they'd been studying was community helpers, which fell right in line with what we do every day. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people just have the opinion we just chase bad guys and arrest bad guys. There's so much more that we do.
So you were trying to explain the work of what we do at the sheriff's office in the community, because it's just like, I don't know if you ever had this question asked, but why did you get into law enforcement? Right. And I remember the first time I was asked that question, I said, because I want to help people. And that's a lot of why we get in. It's not always about putting cuffs on somebody. Right. It's about helping people in our community.
Yeah.
And so you were kind of explaining what we do.
Yeah, and so they really start to connect, and their teachers are there, their parents are there. They're learning stuff about law enforcement and the sheriff's office, particularly what we do. And that gives us a good opportunity to make that connection. And I like to think that, we ought to use these times, and not just us in law enforcement. We get this opportunity at these events to make a connection, to maybe make an impact. I remember walking away from law enforcement officer when I was a kid that I remembered that law enforcement officer for a long time. And I just say this to our viewers: if you get an opportunity to make a difference in somebody, make a difference. If you're in law enforcement, some other public safety sector, or wherever you work or whatever you do, there is an opportunity for you to make a difference in somebody.
Well, that's kind of why I like the law enforcement profession, is because every day you go to work, you have the opportunity to affect someone's life.
Sure.
And try to do it in a positive way.
Yeah.
We may make a effect on the crime situation or crime prevention, but interacting with the public, because we don't ride around locking people up all the time.
Right.
A lot of times we ride around. It's a prevention mode. It's a visibility. We're psychological deterrent to crime, but also a lot of times we stop in at our stores, we stop in at our ball games and stuff like this, and we see the kids and talk to the family. So a lot of it is just building relationships and let people know that we in law enforcement are not apart from the community, but we're part of the community.
That's right.
And so we're there to help, and we're there to protect, and we're there to serve. And so the thing is, I think what you're doing is a great thing. And we've got a lot of kids. I think we say that 25% of the kids go to non-traditional public schools.
Right.
And I know that a large number go to or homeschool. I'm seeing more and more kids homeschool. But I was going to say something else. We go to churches too. Recently we've seen where there have been some situations where some of our churches and places of faith have been attacked.
Right.
And some serious and deadly events have gone on. And we've for several years now we've ran security assessments for our churches. And we have what's called a Church Watch program. And our Church Watch program is what we try to do is during the times when churches are in session, particularly like your Wednesdays and your weekends and your Sundays, we try to have presence in our churches around the county. I think the last time we counted a few years ago it was over 450 churches across the county. So it's a lot of places of faith that we can check on. And so when we know that people are gathering, we try to be seen, observed in the area. Again, crime prevention, because the last thing we want to do is see something happen at a church where somebody gets hurt or worse. And we see that all around the country and stuff like this. And we're not saying that it couldn't happen. That's why we want to make sure that we have presence. So if you have concerns about safety at your church and anything you can do to improve safety, if you're not sure, give us a call.
Right.
The Sheriff's Office, 336-634-3232. Call the Sheriff's Office, and we'll send somebody out to come to your church meeting, to meet with your elders, to show you some ideas, do a walkthrough with you to see some ways you can make and improve the safety level at your church.
Sheriff, since we put this out on our media post,
have you got any calls?
I have actually got some calls, and we are conducting security surveys now.
Yes, sir.
So I was really glad to see that. It's one of those things, a faith-based organization, a church, a religious group that meets. You want that place to feel warm, welcoming.
That's right.
It's a spiritual place, and it's a place where people come for healing and strength, spiritual guidance, and that's just one of those places that you want to feel safe.
But in the back of your mind, you also have to realize that times have changed
It has
in
changed.
our country, and there's some persons that may have ill will and want to do harm to others. So we have to prepare for that and prevent giving an opportunity. We want to reduce the chances of church being and the church people being victimized, and so that's why we do our program.
Well, and there is a way to do it where the church don't lose its special place.
It's welcoming.
It's welcoming, and there is ways to do it. People are finding ways to do that. Every congregation is different. They're designed. The buildings are designed different. The congregation itself, the size of the congregation, the makeup of the congregation, the age of people in that congregation is very different. So there's ways just to tweak around things so church don't lose the feel of church.
And like I said, it doesn't matter what your denomination is.
That's right.
We don't worry about your denomination. If you are a place of worship and you feel like you need an assessment to help you better make sure that your facility is safer
Right.
for the people that come there, is all you got to do is call us at the sheriff's office. And Dwayne, Sergeant Anders,
Yeah.
Dwayne is our coordinator on this program. So if you need anything in that regards for assistance, contact Dwayne Anders with the sheriff's office. I'll give you the number. And if you can't get Dwayne, call me, and I'll get in touch with Dwayne. But we want to make sure that, again, we want to make sure when people go to worship, come to worship, that they don't have to worry about the bad things.
Right.
We want to worry about the good things.
Yep, I think we can get them to that place, Sheriff. I think we can at least be a great help and assistance to them. So thank you for the opportunity.
I appreciate, like I said, we've had the program for several years now because we saw several years ago when we started seeing these acts of violence directed toward houses of worship. We said we've got to do something to try to help, and we started that. But every time we see something around the country, we say, you know what, we need to reiterate that we do have programs to help. And I'm saying is, if you live in the city, any of the cities or towns in Rockingham County, check with your local police department, because I'm sure that they will work with you to assess any concerns you might have, also through their crime prevention program for church safety. So if you live inside the cities, just contact your local police department and ask them about their programs.
We'll address things, Sheriff, other than their securities. All of this Church Watch involves things like crime prevention through the design of the church. Mm-hmm. We'll help them with physical designs of lighting, doors, windows,
access, all those things.
All the things inside and outside of the church. So it's good to do one to just recheck it, and there's areas we can brush up on.
Now let me kind of throw to another situation. Is in Rockingham County, we have almost 11,000 people that have their carry conceal permits. Now, some people have carry conceal permits and they don't always carry. That's their choice. But if you're interested in a carry conceal permit and what that entails, what you need to do is you can call the sheriff's office, and we can tell you, we can't refer any instructors, but if you'll go online, there are carry conceal instructors all across Rockingham County that are there to help you to be able to go through the classroom, and then you come to the sheriff's office to file your paperwork with your certificates, and then go from there. People say, well, how long does it take? Once we get your information, it probably takes 2 to 3 weeks to get your paperwork and get your permit back. I would say this: that if you do go and get your carry conceal permit, I would say this: make sure that you practice.
Absolutely.
Make sure you go online. Make sure you attend training where you understand the use of a firearm, when you can use that force, and understand the legal side of it too. So again, it's a lot of responsibility when you carry conceal. Now another thing is, I know right now in the legislature, Senate Bill 50, that is what's called constitutional carry, and that's a bill where you in North Carolina, as long as you're 18 or above and you have no prohibitors, you can basically carry conceal in most places without a permit in North Carolina. So, but I tell people that if that bill passes, if that moves forward, if it does pass, then just remember this: you still, if you travel outside the state and you need to carry your firearm concealed, you'll need to have that permit.
Right.
And there's probably about 36 states that honor our permit, and some that do not. So particularly in the Northeast and stuff like this. So check your internet to see what states approve and accept our carry conceal permits and ones that don't. So when you're going through there, we don't want you to get in trouble.
So Sheriff, we get that question a lot. When will this bill pass, if it passes? Is there any way to even know?
Right now, it's tied up with the governor and the legislature. They're there. They've worked on it. But as far as I know, right now it's with the legislature and the governor's office.
All right.
And it's Senate Bill 50, and that deals with what's called constitutional carry. So
if we come to the point that passes, Sheriff, just for our viewing audience, we will put something out on that.
Yeah, we will,
that information be
and I will
ready
and I will tell you this, if the bill passes, you've got a lot of carry conceal instructors that teach different levels, I'm sure, of shooting, and also the opportunity to learn more and more about if you're handling a weapon and weapon safety and stuff like that. So I always say, safety, it's nothing wrong with a safety class, but the thing is, if you're going to carry a firearm, you need to know about how to carry, when to carry, and again, like I said, if you have to use a firearm, to make sure that you're within the law when you use that.
That's essential for sure.
Very simple. But we'll put our information in that passage. Yes, sir. What else we got? What else we got?
Sheriff, let's go back and talk about our fraud and scams a little bit. I know we put something out recently on our social media.
Well,
posts.
pretty regular. We
Yeah.
put something out.
We know our best tool is education.
Our best tool is education, and the best device for us to get information out is through social media. We use different platforms to push out our information, but it used to be in the old days, several years ago, that every time in the fall you would have the gypsies would come around, and they'd want to paint your barn,
Right.
paint your roof and stuff, paint it silver and stuff, and the first time it rains, it rinses off. And also we've had people coming around with the pavement and stuff, want to fix your driveway, and they try to calculate the cost and everything, and you end up paying a lot more money for some shoddy work.
Yeah.
We would say this: if you don't know somebody that's a vendor, and you're not sure, before you contract and sign off on a contract for work, check with somebody to verify their work to make sure they're legitimate.
Right.
If you have a problem or somebody is on your property that's trying to do work for you, you don't want them there, and you ask them to leave and they don't leave, call 911 and ask for
Right.
the sheriff's office. We'll send a deputy down there to have a conversation to let you know what your rights are, and
Right.
also to provide assistance if a person is on your property and refusing to leave.
These people are pushy, persuasive.
Yes, sir.
They
pray-
practice this every day.
And they prey. A lot of times they prey on our seniors.
They do. They target certain areas and certain people. It's that look like they're easy targets. So
Yeah, and we've seen all kind. We've seen we've seen all kinds of people come through. We've seen the persons with the rolls of paper towels and the cleaners.
Yeah.
We don't see those guys come in. And I've watched them on social media. Some of them are pretty comical. But the point about it is, if you didn't call them, you don't want them. The door-to-door salesman, if you don't want them, ask them to leave.
Right.
You have that right to
That's
ask them
right.
to leave.
That's right.
That's your right, because that's your property. The other scam situations is we have people that get into people's bank accounts, or the one we're seeing right lately. I think your name was mentioned.
Sure.
Is a lot of times, because we are on social media, people will take that information and use that, and you'll get a message say, hey, this person is on the phone. I'm with the sheriff's office or the police department or whatever organization, and you didn't pay this. If you'll send a check or this,
Right.
if someone calls you on the phone, or somebody sends you a message on the internet and says that you owe money like this, most organizations are going to send you a letter,
Right.
in the mail, official letter from that organization to let you know if you've got a bill or something that's unpaid or something like this. But the sheriff's office, we do not say jury duty scam, for example. If you have jury duty, you'll be contacted by a deputy by phone or in person. A lot of times with the subpoenas, that you can get a copy. If you
Right.
want a copy, we'll get you a copy of it. But you'll have some official document. But when in doubt, if you get a phone call and they're representing themselves as the sheriff's officer, and you're not sure, something like this, don't give your personal information. Do not give your social security number. Do not give your birth date. Do not give your personal information. What number you should call is you should call the 911 center and have a law enforcement officer from that agency or the sheriff's office, depending where it's at, to come out and meet with you and see what the information. We've had situations where people have been contacted about getting a check
Right.
to send to pay off this bill so they stay out of trouble. And we've had people at the bank, or we've had people that they've already given the check or sent the check or sent the card.
Right.
And once you do that, it makes it harder for us to help you keep from losing your money. So I don't want to see anybody in Rockingham County, young or old, lose any money because of a scammer or a fraud in Rockingham County. Now, if somebody contracts for you to do work and they fail to do that work, it could be civil, or it could be
Right.
criminal failure. Contract with somebody and failure to complete work as contracted. Could be civil, could be criminal. But when in doubt, call your local law enforcement agency
Right.
through the 911 center. Our 911 telecommunicators do a great job. We appreciate them. They're the first person generally that hear anything before the officers or the fire department or the paramedics are dispatched, okay, or rescue. So make sure, when in doubt, contact your local agency, and you can do that by calling 911, and then they'll hook you up with a law enforcement agency or the agency that you're trying to get in touch with for a question to be answered.
Sheriff, I actually got a call 2 days ago from one of our very own deputies. He said, "Hey, somebody called representing you today."
Oh, did they?
And they called out one of our deputies and said, "Hey,
What was the scam?
I'm Sergeant Anders with the sheriff's office. You've got some unpaid fines you need to take care of, and I'll take care of them for you right now over the phone
For a fee.
for a fee."
And you need to send this check to,
Yep.
or you need to send this or get a credit card, get a gift card.
Gift card.
If you get a gift card and then use that gift card to pay off that. We don't do that.
They send them to grocery stores, places that people shop, drugstores, anywhere that they can get them to purchase gift cards, Visa gift cards, or anything
And
like that.
and once you send that card, you've lost that money.
it's gone for sure.
Now, if you use a credit card, for a transaction on the internet, if something turns out it's a fraud, you'll need to, if it turns out it's a fraud and you report it, the quicker you report it, the chances are a better chance of you of not losing your money.
So, Sheriff, if someone frauds you,
Somebody defrauded
they get into your account without you knowing about it. A lot of times, the bank can do something to assist these people
Yeah,
in
well,
recouping funds
contact-
if they didn't provide any information. But the scams, if they con you into giving your name, date of birth, social security number, banking account, and routing numbers.
Two things you need to do. Number one, contact your bank and tell
Absolutely.
them to stop your account. If you think you've been defrauded, contact your bank. Contact law enforcement. I think a lot of times what happens is people get defrauded out of money, and it's not usually a low amount of money either, and they get defrauded out of thousands of dollars, and it's embarrassing. And a lot of times they don't want to tell their family,
Right.
Because, like I said, a lot of times these scammers they feed on our seniors, and so what it is, they don't want to tell their family, and sometimes it goes for weeks, months, and stuff before anybody finds out. And then, like I said, a lot of times it makes it more impossible to
Absolutely.
solve that case because of the quicker you report to your bank and to law enforcement, the quicker. And a lot of banks say contact law enforcement to get a report and get that information to them to verify you've done a report. So then they know that when they stop that account, it's all official.
Sure.
But again, law enforcement and your bank are probably two places important to get a hold of right away if you think you've been defrauded. But if you get a phone call and somebody says that, like with Dwayne saying, like you, that you have fines or something, like you got to take up. We do not do anything over the phone. The sheriff's office and law enforcement does not do anything over the phone. If you owe money to the courts or anywhere else or any other situation official, you'll get a letter from that organization.
Right.
But be careful on the internet. I worry about it even when I make a purchase on the internet. Is it a fraudulent, or is some of these companies, are they legitimate or they fraud? That even myself, I'm concerned about that because I don't want to lose any money, but I don't want you to lose any money either.
Yeah, and a lot of these people, Sheriff, unfortunately lose their life savings.
They can.
And that's sad, but that's something that is preventable if we're smarter.
And well, the thing is, just understand is, we know that everybody out here in public, our citizens, they're good people and they're trusting.
Right.
And when they hear law enforcement or hear what sounds official, they're very trusting. I would say this: if someone's talking money, fines, payments, stuff like this, and they connect to you on the phone or they connect to you on the internet, don't give them any personal information. Right. Notify law enforcement. If you have ended up sending some money to someone like this, you need, and you think you're scamming, you need to notify law enforcement and your bank right away.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think that's the best advice I can give.
Sure.
And then we'll go from there.
I think to cap it off, Sheriff, one of the things you said I think is probably the most important. If you didn't solicit that work and they come to you, you don't have to accept that. Take your time, do your own reference check on who you want to hire to do work. You don't have to hire somebody that shows up at your door or calls you on the phone.
No, and remember this, your home is your castle,
Right.
okay? And your property is your property, and if you want somebody to leave, tell them to leave. Especially if they're being pushy and you don't feel comfortable.
Right.
You tell them to leave. If they don't leave, what's that number you need to call?
911.
911, and ask for assistance. I'm sure
Yeah.
if you need an officer or you need a deputy, they'll send one quickly to you to help you, especially if someone's trespassing on your property and being pushy like in these situations we're talking about.
Absolutely.
We're there to help you and protect you.
Sheriff, looks like we're about out of time today. This show has went very fast. Just to recap what the sheriff said, be looking on social media and the city's calendars. You'll see all kinds of events
Follow
coming up.
the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office on our website, and our website is
RockinghamSheriff.com.
okay. And also, Halloween's coming up, so I know it's going to be a lot of ghouls and goblins out there and stuff on Halloween. I know a lot of churches have the trunk or treat program, stuff like this. If your kids are going out trick or treat, make sure that they're supervised. Make sure they have costumes that are well seen and reflective. Make sure they have flashlights. Anything that you receive during Halloween, stuff like this, take and look at it. Parents, take and look at it before they consume any of those candy products and stuff like this. We want to have a safe and fun Halloween period, but please, parents, get involved with kids. Supervise your children. Make sure they cross the street safely. Make sure that you've got them in a safe situation, and don't let them go out unsupervised on Halloween. And pay attention. There's a lot of churches out there that got trunk or treat, so there's always a great place to go to all over the county. And so we just hope everybody has a great festive season. And again, as we go through October, if you need anything from the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, you can reach us by way of the 911 Center. 911 is the only number you need to remember if you need law enforcement support from the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office or any other law enforcement agency or emergency service within the county. Again, I want to always give kudos to our telecommunicators because they're the first person to get the call, and we appreciate them.
Right.
I'm good.
Sounds good.
Y'all be safe out there.
Thank you a lot. We'll see you again on Sheriff Spotlight, the November edition.